besties. So this is gonna be a little like catch-up video and also all of the books I read in June. It's June, right? Yeah, it's June. I don't know why I just absolutely blinked out on that for a second. But we're gonna be going through all the books I read in June, and we gotta catch up. Let's do a little room tour, shall we? I have a lot to update you on. I moved back home from college, so I'm back in Orlando. I'm filming on the new camera. Hopefully the quality looks better than the other videos. But yeah, my bookshelf is a mess. I have like not as much space as I used to, so I'm still getting used to that. But with that being said, super quick room tour. So starting out with the beloved bookcase, here she is. I can't really do much else honestly aside from stacking it crazy style because I have no room. And then over here's my little TBR cart. Here she is. I got some new sheets for my bed. This is literally giving like pink wonderland. I love it. I have my Kindle. This is my new little like Kindle stand with my snack bowl. I'm gonna have this linked in the description because a lot of people on TikTok, I made a video about it and everyone loves it. But yeah, this can be used for storage or a snack bowl, but don't want to go through cleaning this even though it's pretty easy. So I'm just gonna use it as storage and put snacks in a different bowl and put the bowl in there, if that makes sense. But yeah, look at my sheets. There's little pink bows on them now. They are so cute. Here is my vanity. Oh, sorry, it's so dirty. It's actually so dirty. And of course I have Fortnite up on the TV. So I got some like special editions of books that I really want to show you because they're so beautiful. Are you being for real? Dropped my Hercules puzzle. I'm gonna clean that up later. Okay, I'm gonna show you these two little like low-key kind of special editions first, and then we'll get into the juicy fairyloot books. I don't know if you saw from when I was standing back there. So I got Foxglove, the hardcover. I have not read Belladonna or Foxglove, but I saw this, and this is absolutely beautiful. I didn't know this was like low-key an exclusive thing, but the hardcover has some beautiful art on it. Are you kidding me right now? And now I want the matching Belladonna one, but in my little book selling group, apparently they sell for a lot of money, so I don't know if I'm going to be getting the Belladonna one. I got The Wren in the Holly Library. This is published by Red Tower Books, and the sprayed edges are absolutely beautiful. Red Tower Books is killing it with the sprayed edges, but I have heard people say that the editing in this book is like not good, and there's a lot of like typos and stuff. So I'm slightly worried. Let me show you the end pages. It looks so divergent. It's set in like dystopian New York City where there's like monsters and humans, and then this is the hardcover. It's a little hard to see on the camera, but like the art is absolutely beautiful. I got the Fairyloot Mortal editions of Icebreaker and Wildfire. I am so excited about these. Look at that metallic. These are the digitally sprayed edges. They're so crisp and clean. Both of them are hand signed by Hannah Grace, my girl, and I'm really hoping they sell Daydream in one of these editions. I'm sure they will. There's like no reason why they won't, but I really hope I get to sell it individually. And I like the way Fairyloot did this one because they opened the window for pre-orders, so no one was like rushing to get them. They weren't gonna sell out. I'm pretty sure they basically just made however many were pre-ordered, which like I know that low-key kind of defeats the purpose of limited editions if you know it's like a small print run, but I like that I didn't have to absolutely stress. I could just pre-order on my own time before the window closed, and I got these beautiful editions of the books. Oh yeah, there's end page art. Oh yeah, there's just casually really amazing end page art, and on the hardcovers, ooh, there's these like pictures for Icebreaker. Oh my gosh, my man. Oh my god, my man Nate. And here, it's so cute. Like, I can't wait for the Daydream one. And I also may or may not have gotten the entire probably smut trilogy of Icebreaker, Wildfire, and Daydream because they have their special editions too. And they decided to resell the Icebreaker and Wildfire ones because I missed out on it the first time. I was literally sitting in my marketing class. I had my alarm up. I was ready. I was on the website. Had them in my cart. I went to check out because I had my card information saved. Like, I did this quick. And they sold out. They literally sold out as I was checking out. And I was so livid. So I'm really glad they did another run of these, because now I'm gonna have all three. And I also pre-ordered Daydream from the Ripped Bodice, so it will be hand signed. I'm Hannah Graced up. I'm Hannah Graced up, and I'm not even mad about it at all. Okay, so that was my little catch up. I hope you enjoyed. So I read 7 books in June. June was a pretty good month for me. I started out really hard on the audiobook grind. I've been borrowing audiobooks from Libby and like waiting so I can, multitask and clean and stuff while I'm doing audiobooks. I'm also gonna add 2 books onto this, and these are 2 books that I read in May, but I really, really want to talk about them. I'm sure you guys know that the Powerless novella came out, Powerful. I cried. I sobbed like a baby. Here's evidence of me crying. I literally posted a TikTok about it, and I was like, Lauren Roberts is making me cry again. Yeah, it was really sad. So this novella is from Adina's perspective of while Peyton is like in the games. And I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the really, really sad thing that happens at the end of Powerless is the end of Powerful. The whole novella, you're just like, you just know tragedy's coming. You just know. But anyways, this was 5 stars. It was amazing. And when I'm filming this right now, Reckless comes out in like 3 days. I'm so excited. I'm genuinely so excited. When I get that book in the mail, I'm going to be sat in my bed. The other book I read in May that I really wanted to talk about was called The Gale by Lo Meyer. And oh my lord, I saw this book on TikTok. Me and the author are actually mutuals on TikTok now. I'm so excited. Anyways, The Gale is set 300 years in the future in like a dystopian America. There was like a nuclear war that went on. I might get some of this a little bit wrong. I read this a month ago. But anyways, the premises is that a nuclear war went on, and now there's monarchies, and the main kingdom is like surrounded by these walls, and they're blocking from the enemy. Some people have like powers, like supernatural powers from the radiation. I'm kind of explaining this really poorly. Anyways, the girl who is heir to the throne of the people who don't have any powers in America, they hide the identity of the heir until a year before they take the throne. So the last night of her freedom, before she's like announced to the public, she goes out to this nightclub with her, like basically her ladies in waiting, like her servants. They're like her best friends. They go out to this nightclub that's like right next to the wall. So it's kind of dangerous, but like no attacks really ever happen, so they're not worried about it. Anyways, of course that club gets attacked. Of course. And she does not make it out. She literally gets captured. She gets taken into enemy territory, and they have no idea that she is the heir because it hasn't been publicly put out. They have no idea that they just captured the heir of their enemy kingdom. And she meets this girl. They get thrown in front of the prince. She has literally heard stories about him growing up from when she was a child about how horrific and merciless and cruel he is. And he's basically so terrible. So she is shaking in her boots. She is so scared. But for the first time, like ever, he lets his enemies, these servants, these 2 girls, he says, you can serve in my palace. You guys are going to be servants. He shows both of these girls mercy for like the first time ever. So everyone's like, what is going on? Anyways, enemies to lover. The prince is epic. The prince is epic, and he's not as merciless as he seems. But she is literally working as a servant, as the heir to the enemy's kingdom. She's working in the enemy's palace. It is basically really epic, and I think you should go read it. It's on Kindle Unlimited. Now, officially, into the books I read for June. So, in June, the first 3 books I read were actually the entire Summer I Turned Pretty books, the trilogy, and I actually read it in less than 24 hours because I listened to the audiobooks. These books are always going to be 5 stars for me. I literally reread them every summer. I'm sure everyone and their mother has read these books. But, they're just a summer classic. I was feeling in the summer mood. I had to read them. I love a brother love triangle. I had just rewatched season 1 and season 2 of the show. So that had to happen. That's what needed to happen. So then I read The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. And this is the second book in her Next Gen Off-Campus series. And this series is called The Campus Diary. So the first one is The Graham Effect, and the next one is The Dixon Rule. And I'm not gonna lie, I have been pretty disappointed with this next gen series so far. And The Graham Effect wasn't bad by any means. I just didn't like how it ended necessarily. But The Dixon Rule, I've seen so many people praising this book, and like I could see why people enjoyed it. Then again, I also listened to the audiobook. Huge ick with some of these audiobooks. I literally have a bone to pick with whoever the producers are of some. I was listening to The Dixon Rule by L. Kennedy, and that book is dual perspective, and it's like a duet. So they have the girl saying the girl parts and they have the boy saying the boy parts. Tell me why the girl was doing a man voice and the guy was doing a girl voice. I'm sorry, that icked me out. That icked me out so bad. I cannot stand it when audiobooks do that. Like, I don't want to hear the man, this strong MMC, talking in a girly voice because it's her dialogue. No, I'm sorry. No, absolutely not. Just felt like the story was kind of boring, and it also had like no relation to Off Campus. I want Bo De Laurentiis. First one is The Graham Effect, which is Gigi Graham, which is Garrett Graham's daughter. The second book is Gigi's best friend. They have no relation. Her and the MMC have no relation to any of the couples in Off Campus. She's not like the daughter of anyone. So I'm very genuinely confused on why this book was made. Like, the tropes were fine, but like, what? She announced the next book in the trilogy. It's not Bo De Laurentiis. It's just not. I'm actually so mad. And I thought this was going to be like a full series, 5 books, you know, like something about each of the kids, you know. No, she announced the next one is like the last book. I'm sorry, what? Anyways, I gave The Dixon Rule 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't terrible. I don't know if the audiobook really just didn't do it for me, but like it wasn't as good as I was expecting, and I was like bored. But obviously I rated it 3 stars because there were parts of it that I loved and parts that were fine, but you know, a little frustrated with that one. And then I hopped right into This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune, and I had really high hopes for this book because personally I really loved Every Summer After, and then I hated Meet Me by the Lake. So I was like, please just take it home with The Summer Will Be Different. Meet Me at the Lake, I didn't like the lake setting. I don't like the whole we hung out for 24 hours insta love sort of thing. That's just not for me. But This Summer Will Be Different, it was epic. It was actually epic. Secret relationship with best friend's brother and summer romance. Told in alternate timelines. I'm sorry you have me. And it literally starts, her friend was like, I want you to meet my family in Prince Edward Island. The FMC goes, but the best friend whose like family it is, her flight gets delayed, so she's not even there. So the main girl goes to this like oyster bar thing. She meets this guy. She hooks up with him, and then she's like, oh, I have to go to my friend's house because I'm meeting her family. Like, she's about to get here because her flight was delayed and stuff. She looks at the address and she goes, oh, I'm here. Oh, you're her brother. One rule was like, oh, don't fall in love with my brother, ha ha ha. The girl's previous best friend got engaged to her brother, and then when the engagement broke off, she like lost her friends. Oh, I'm sorry, I actually hooked up with him before you got here, and I'm actually obsessed with him, and I actually think he's the love of my life. So that book got 5 stars. Like, why not? That book got 5 stars for sure. The next book is Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood, and I went into this book fully knowing what it was. I love that it was another STEM romance. I gave this book 2 out of 5 stars, unfortunately. So Allie Hazelwood said in the beginning of the book that Not in Love is like tonally different than her other ones. It's not rom-com. She basically feels like it's more erotica, and I completely agree, but I was so bored. The spicy scenes were pretty good. Anyways, there is a sort of a little BDSM aspect to it, which I personally am not the hugest fan of, but it was fine. But the ending did get better for me. The ending was like pretty solid, I guess, but like overall I was just really bored. I wasn't eating it up. It took me so much to get through it, and I was just like, this is not for me. I could totally see why other people love it, and I could totally see why, like, if that's what you're into, you will love that book. But personally, I'm not into that stuff, so I think that's why it just fell flat for me. The last book I read, this is actually one that I've had on my Kindle forever, and I never got around to reading it, but it's called Beneath the Stars by Emily McIntyre, and it is a best friend's brother romance, so similar to The Summer I Turned Pretty, but set in a small town, and they're like neighbors. They're like 3 houses down from them neighbors. Yeah, that book was really awesome. I gave it 4 stars. There were some things that I didn't really like. It felt a little juvenile. I don't really know, but like, it was really good. If you're looking for a spicy childhood friends to lovers, best friend's older brother, and it's like they've both been infatuated with each other since the first time they met at 11 years old, like, I love that. I eat that up. I was so excited to read that book. I read it in like a day. It was really awesome. So if you're into that, it's definitely a fun little read. It's not a masterpiece. It also has a lot of Southern twang, like, I'm fixin' to do this, and a lot of like Southern kind of sayings that I think a lot of people wouldn't really catch on to. I definitely catch on to them because I'm from Florida. I was in Louisiana. I'm definitely a little Southern gal, but yeah. If you are not into books that are heavily have Southern slang, maybe not, but like the tropes were troping. Okay, so that's it for my June reading wrap up and my little catch up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!